Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to Slipways, where today I decided that we're going to keep it on tough. I know I talked a little bit about at the end of last week about maybe turning it down so that I can play in a more chill fashion and, not have to think, because it's hot in here and my brain is cooking inside my skull and I can feel it. But I've decided what I would like actually is to get a 30k. I would love to see full platinum scores on tough, or full platinum stars rather. And I think turning on the quirks is probably going to be the most fun and entertaining way to get there. Obviously I can just keep refining and tightening play bit by bit, but I think giving us some extra scoring challenges to work around will lead to more interesting decision making, if not necessarily a better decision making. So that's what we're doing today. Here's your sector code. And we are playing with weak slip space. We get plus 10% to our final score, but slip space overload starts 15% sooner. I don't remember whether I've talked about slip space overload explicitly during the series so far, but as we build more and more slip spaces, once we hit a certain slipways, once we hit a certain threshold of slipways, the cost on them starts to go up. And I'm sure you've noticed that in the late game, pathways that would have cost us, 20 or less, because the maximum length slipway costs 20 at the beginning of the game, start costing closer to 40 or sometimes even 60. That is slip space overload. As we get more slipways, the cost of slipways goes up. Obviously, slip space overload starting sooner is a huge bummer on a difficulty where we still sometimes have monetary issues, because building slipways is a huge percentage of our overall money output over the course of a game. But based on, I haven't actually done the math on any of these myself, but based on the way this is presented on the score screen, I think this 10% bonus stacks multiplicatively with the happiness bonus. So, getting one of these is a big deal, as long as you can overcome the thing. And then Project Focus, which replaces the Empire-size scoring with each planet with a planetary project is worth 150 stars. I have not looked at the technologies here for this one yet, but there are a number of relatively cheap, broadly applicable projects that hopefully we will get at least one of. So let's see, who has the good stuff? I mean, I kind of always want to check Dender first, because, culture. And they do have the culture hub, which is certainly good. Habitat on asteroids is pretty cool. We haven't used this, but I'm sure that it's very useful. I should maybe adapt to that. More culture stuff. Habitat structures, in case there's not even an asteroid around. Universal harmony, which of course is a wonderful, wonderful, powerful technology. And then ascension gates. All the culture stuff really encourages you to get a lot of people worlds. And then here's a thing to do with all those people. Sadly, not amazing stuff here, but social capital is definitely interesting since we are, incentivized to build projects anyway. Who else has good ones? The Silphid, actually. Okay, so we have flexible fabrication. We don't have the minerals to chips one, but that's interesting at least. Also, mind control. You can do mind control on any world, although it is very expensive. Yeah, that looks pretty compelling, though. The Aphorians have wave augmentation, which is great. Trade League, which is less great, but maybe still good. Feel very strongly about plasma containment and ubiquitous network. I hear legendary worlds are pretty okay. If we want to compare this, let's try to think about, in terms of just straight comparison to the other, 50 to 60 cost endgame technologies, in terms of how this affects your score. Okay, a very straightforward comparison might be the Vittori technology that gives you bonus happiness based on the output of your best lab. Each prosperous to legendary upgrade is earning you 320 additional stars, so it's like conjuring a new prosperous planet out of nothing. And it seemed to increase the happiness bonus of the planet by 3%. So if you get 2 legendary planets like we did last time, that's 6% happiness plus 640 stars. That feels like a pretty big increase. I'm trying to think. I guess I don't, off the top of my head, know where we have been tending to end up stars-wise. But our score modifiers have been in like the 130 to 150 range, right? So we're probably bringing in like 15,000-ish stars. So a 6% bonus on that, plus 640 raw stars, like that feels very significant. Yeah, post scarcity might be great, and if you plan for it better than I did, then even better than that. That said, I don't know that they're. All right, let's check the other two before we go making any decisions here. So deep drilling is pretty whatever. It's kind of a shame this isn't a project. That it is just a thing that happens for free. Gravitic mining. Okay, tugs is cool. Aside from that, a lot of this stuff is not that compelling. Inverted slipways, like if you can actually get into a financial position like we were in last time, then these do start to become relevant. Okay, so the Bakars seem out to me. All right, there you go. There it is. Slip amplifier, cheap project, objectively useful, can be built on literally any world. The Vittori are in, for sure. Infrawave detection turns out to be pretty alright. Quantum computing's amazing. Machine sentience and cybernetic bodies are both, potentially interesting. Technocracy can be very, very cool. Once in a while we get a lab to 17, right? So if we wanted to have it be like, hey, look, it's Dender and also Vittori, who would have thought? Then who comes with us? It is worth noting that I do not have gene, whatever it's called, the early tech that lowers planetary upkeep. So that's one of my developed strategies that I over rely on, that I cannot rely on here, probably for the best. So like, how are we going to manage our early game income? Are we going to do social capital? Are we going to like pick up slip amplifiers early and just run it on a lot of planets and do social capital to make money? That feels like it's at earliest a mid-game strategy, right? Because like, where are you getting $15 extra all the time prior to the mid-game? So you'll be giving me missions to expand the number of planet types that we're inhabiting, to increase the amount of people, to increase the amount of food, and to increase the prosperity of people and food worlds. A lot of your texts are science-based. Just trying to think, like, we could do Bakar for just like relatively easy challenges. Although sometimes they give you that, like, explore the target region, and the designated area is like 7 probe jumps outside of what you can currently see. That is a real bummer. If we're talking about just probably ease of missions, it may well be these fellows. I do think that like the perks are pretty weak though. I honestly don't think any of our options here are very compelling. Mind control is super nice to have. Okay, maybe we try it like this. Even though I do think that the Silthid quests can be a little bit scary sometimes. So like, do we want science and we try social capital, or do we want to take joint factories? Joint factories has a lot going for it, but also it does make some things a little bit more awkward. And if you don't have integrated manufacturing available, then taking joint factories makes it real weird when the Silthid ask you to increase chips. I do love the free science is the thing. It's not that much over the course of the game, but it gets you science early on when it's most valuable. And yeah, let's just try it like this. I think that both of the silted texts here are potentially very compelling, but we're gonna run it like this. By the way, I found out that the 200,000 point weekly run scores are in fact totally legitimate, not hacked at all. Actually, in the game's Discord, it turns out that there's a thing that is not technically a bug going on that I would classify as definitely at least obviously broken. But they are legitimately gettable in the game. Oh, this ocean world doesn't quite connect to that. Shoot, my plan there was people to biomass to food, and then we do people to minerals to goods, and this world was going to become so happy so quickly. But if I cannot, yeah, the stupid lava world's in the way. Well, if I can't do that, then we may want to just look around a little bit more. I may need more intel. Can you hit that? Okay, obviously that's better. Shorter slipways and doesn't block access to the ruin. Do I just take food from here and trust? I could do robots from this instead of goods. Maybe even with the intention of repurposing the world later. And we didn't end up with tugs. We didn't end up with explosions or anything. So the only way to route around this world is going to be slip relays, which is not the way you want to be doing it early on. Let me get a little bit more information out here. But yeah, the tech for achieving those ridiculously high scores apparently is that the teleporter structure can host an unlimited number of slipways. I had just assumed that it would work like every other structure. Well, not every other. I had just assumed it would work like a relay or something. I guess there is another structure that can accept infinite slipways. It's more like a lab. But I did not realize that. If you know that, which I think is pretty unintuitive, then it's a pretty short leap from there to you can connect every planet in your galaxy to every other planet in your galaxy with a pretty small number of strategically placed teleporters, and that's how that strategy works. So hopefully, I mean, I hope that gets changed. I hope it ends up being the case that you can, the number of routes you can run to a teleporter is the same as the number of routes you can run to a relay, and go ahead and let splitting increase it. Because that seems like the obvious solution to a pretty degenerate strategy, but we'll see. Maybe the developer's fine with it. It's hard to imagine. So, okay. We can run... I was thinking about people off of Totera instead. Run to here to make the Gaia world stuff, but we have to be careful to run the biomass out to this world to produce the food. And then if we make this a mineral world, then we can send a point of population there, send minerals out for the goods, and that'll create a water need, which we can satisfy off of this thing. And then if we can just get one more source of people into Pendulum 4, then it will produce a second point of biomass. Which will then feed Totera 8, and then we're in business. And I think I might just try that. If there's any source of people over here anywhere, we already have a way to feed it, and it just like it makes actually a pretty tight little web of connections. So we would want to start with this. And then I'm going to look around a little bit. That's not going to work. It cannot be another source of people that requires more biomass. We're only going to have 2 biomass. Okay, we've got to get you chips. Well, we can maybe do that. Yeah, it's one of these 2 worlds. becomes a people world. I'm inclined to have it be this one for obvious reasons. Okay, I think that that's a real strategy. I think we're on our way here. So I kind of don't want to settle another a people world or a food world right away. So I'm going to do that so that we can get our tasks, so that we can... Yep, there it is. And then these are both create chips. Although this one requires you to create more than one world that is producing chips. Or to get that world leveled up pretty significantly. Because, yeah, you would have to get it all the way up to level 3. That's pretty harsh for a beginning of 3402 task. I think I am going to take it, though, over this one, because we can't afford to run a lab right now. Oh, sorry. I selected the only one I didn't want. Look, we're doing it. Oh, that's... I forgot that this thing uses water for the second point. Okay, well, that's fine. So now we make this a people world, connect that there, sends in the biomass, which allows me to do that for this. Look at that. Look at all the peopling and stuff. Okay, I guess I'm going to take $32. What about over here? Ooh. Okay, obviously leave it for now, as I am required to by the game rules. May as well connect that there, and this world's getting pretty solid. Actually, we've done a good job with these early connections here. We have reasonable income. All right, I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of hoping for a few more worlds out of that. So I guess let's look over here. Let's see if any of this stuff is minerals. Okay, that could be... At 9 science already. Do I want freeze-resistant bots? So far we've seen an ice ball world. Not necessarily terribly compelling, that. But we could have this world be a scrapping operation, which gets fed population from here to run minerals to there for chips. We got to find a source of food for this world, but we'll have some of the incomes all set already. I'm a little leery, if you can't tell, of pushing us up to 8 planets. So I'm going to try to delay that for a moment. Okay, that does connect. All right, I need to know what these are. Okay, that's a shame. If that was a Forge world, it does so many wonderful things for us. I mean, I guess the good news is we potentially have a lot of sources of minerals all gathered up here. So we could set up a pretty solid lab. What I would like to do is have that settle take place within the last couple months of this year. So as to, actually, does it make more sense for this to be the people world? Maybe it does. Yeah, in fact, it totally does. I was just saying, you know, so as to not have to have the raised administrative costs come out of 3405's budget. So we're just going to do some other stuff that's generally useful for a couple of months. Yeah, this world being a people world, taking food and doing minerals for chips and sending chips back. Without another source of minerals, this world is not going to produce the 4th chip, but we can figure it out. We can figure it out with somewhere around here. So I am going to do this, and then we need to send out... Actually, I'm going to bust this so that we have enough money to start the cycle here. And all it would need is another source of minerals, and then it would produce the 4th point. That's kind of a shame. Yep, that's not going to reach. At least not yet. I mean, we may as well grab slip amplifiers because we do know that we are going to take them. Nope, sorry. Don't do that right now. Finish your tasks, then. Because we may get the task to develop a technology. That is the only asteroid that is near enough to us to do anything at all. So somewhere around here, I have to just devote a world to chip output. I just have to decide on one. Okay, that's interesting. Right, still waiting. I remember. Look at me thinking. Look at me sometimes thinking, even. Can you reach the ocean world? Okay. I mean, the ocean world really wants to be running a mineral thing here, right? But I guess we can flip this world to successful by feeding its minerals out into a lab. So the ocean world maybe reaches out this way instead. I'm just going to go ahead and press this button right now. We will figure it out later. Okay, improve science output. I will absolutely do that. Improve the number of prosperous planets by 2 versus get 2 forge worlds to successful. Well, this one would require a mineral in that we cannot do. This one requires a mineral or a chip in, which we can do, followed by a goods out, which we honestly also can probably do. We don't have any resources for you or for you. I mean, the prosperous thing is actually, we're not very far off. I think we can do it. Right, because you need another input as well. That is a little awkward. And you're producing as much food as you ever will, right? Yeah. So, like, this world and this world is kind of close. And this world is... Well, okay, so we have a plan for flipping Totera to successful. That will satisfy the neighbor requirements for both of these worlds. And then we just have to get another point of population off of this one, and that does it. We can absolutely do that. We can do both of these things. Okay. So at this point, we could take slip amplifiers. I guess there's not really a compelling reason to, though. We don't need to right now. Do I want to just grab mass lensing? I do love mass lensing. It does allow us to solve some of our more annoying problems. I don't know. Let's go ahead and set that lab up. I guess it's a little expensive, but I do think it's definitely the right thing to do. Kind of curious. Can I get... I can. Doing this guarantees that that forge world will never be successful. So we're talking about running a slipway right past it. It also means that this thing is basically only useful for mass lensing, because robots coming off of it do nothing. But I think actually, looking at its surroundings, that's already true. So there's no reason not to do this. My only concern about this is that we are not going to be able to run the slipway from Totera to it this year, probably, because it's such a ridiculously large slipway. Do we want to try to figure out what we're going to do with this first? I mean, I guess that's it, right? That's the only thing it can be. Man, I'm looking at the amount of income we have right now and really not feeling good about any of it. Yeah, how are we going to get you another point of anything? It's basically going to have to be this producing mechanized harvest stuff, right? Here, give me these. Let me know what's up over here. Okay, interesting. So, that being an actual world means we can't run minerals from here to here, which does make the robot thing a little bit tougher. Not impossible, but a little bit tougher. I will say, I know I'm not a huge fan of them in a general sense, and so this may seem a little silly, but like, gosh, I wish we had access to more asteroids. I think I'm in a place where we may just take the $19 off of this. Getting set up more quickly is so valuable. So how expensive will this be? Exactly 20. The thing is, it's so good in terms of what it does for us. Feels like it's very silly not to immediately commit to it. And yeah, we got to run the people over here, which we totally will do. Gosh, I wish we did have any relevant asteroids. I guess we can probe once and then we got to pass. It is a shame. It's not a lot of science to start the year with. But we're still at plus 34 after the prosperity upgrade. I guess it makes the most sense to just clear these. Okay, that's interesting. Does it make sense for this to be the people world? Since we have a source of chips over here and everything. I guess it's still pretty hard to know. Because, like, I don't have an obvious way of getting food going here yet. Alright, I think we're going to pass. We're going to run that extremely expensive thing first. It is probably cheaper to just run the scrapping operation here. But, at the same time, it sure doesn't level us up quite as well. Right? Because getting the second mineral out of here definitely has value for being able to start flipping worlds in this part of the system. It's going to leave me with $19 to work with for 11 months. Depressingly similar to real life. But like we gotta get these tasks finished, right? And also just having science income is broadly good. So much so that I'm gonna commit to all of that, and then we're gonna send out 2 probes and call it a year. Aha. An asteroid that can actually generate a small amount of money. The Fool. Okay. I'll take some small amounts of money. Hey, look at that. That actually runs out there. Okay. I mean, we're certainly going to take slip amplifiers. I'm not going to be lensifying very many worlds right now, no matter what, because of we don't have any money. Just looking around for sources of people for these worlds. It looks like Corey 9 is definitely the winner on that. Then we can run minerals from here to get the chips necessary to do that part of the settle. And then we just need to find a way to food it. To food it good. Dunno what that way is. So sorry, this is gonna be 16. Okay, so we can do it. Hooray, $40. Get a food-producing planet to prosperous. I mean, invent 2 technologies is a total no-brainer. We get that basically for free. We are actually right on top of upgrading this Forge world. We have 1 food-producing planet, and it is not going to be trivial to get it to prosperous. I mean, I say that. We could do it right now. It would in fact not be difficult at all to just go, this world's mechanized harvest, that world produces goods, bam bam, this thing levels up. And then just figure out how we actually do that later, figure out the precise way of handling that. So it is a task we can do. And it does get us a tech discount really early, which I do like. That's pretty compelling stuff right there. All right. So at this point, should probably start taking some technologies. But look at all the value we made by just hanging on. So yeah, we're gonna get. Hold on a second. Do I want to put off Lensify and just grab Slip Amplifier's culture hubs right now? Almost certainly yes, right? And then culture hubs actually makes it very easy, relatively easy to flip this world over, because we can just go population to culture, bam. But then we still do need to connect it to one more world that also flips, which we almost certainly would have to do by getting goods to this world in some way, right? Because there's no way... Yeah, there's not really another way to do that. Certainly doable. It's not a problem to do it. Okay, it is not obstructed, it's just out of range. That said, this can absolutely feed us if we lensify that thing. All right, let's maybe start cleaning up some of this garbage around here, some of the bad roots and stuff. So, well, I guess I do want to get this task done, don't I? Never mind. Let's maybe focus a little tiny bit, just like a little bit. All you gotta do is just a little bit. So do I want to send the goods here, or do I want to try to make one of these other worlds work, is the question. We basically, like, realistically, the only thing we can do is feed you biomass or water, because we're certainly not going to be able to get any more food on this world. So, yeah, that's the only way to generate a new trade connection, and that realistically just cannot happen. So yeah, this is the only world you can be trading with in any meaningful way right now. I'm just gonna... The problem with this is that we don't know what the input resource for this is likely to be. It's more likely to be minerals than the other thing, right? I may as well just... And then, does it matter which world is the culture hub? Because you can do it anywhere. If I do it here, I guess it does flip this world to successful. Oh, this world doesn't flip to successful without it, actually, because it doesn't have another export route. So yeah, we really do want this to be like that. Okay. 3408, and we have a tech discount. Feeling pretty solid about that one. Get one remnant planet to prosperous. So you're 3 functional routes right now. We can definitely get water in Very, very easily, in fact. And then mineral out, or like, we're gonna need 2 more roots for this thing. It is sort of a shame that we already spent the culture from this world, I guess. I wasn't looking ahead enough, although also obviously I didn't know that we were gonna need a remnant world to flip. Because if we just turned this into, if we just sent the culture over here instead, and then turned this population point into culture and sent that up, it would have made this world prosperous all the same, and it would have put us at 5 of 6 on this instead of 4 of 6 once we connect the water, which would certainly be cool. We do have other remnant worlds over here. I think we're gonna have a little bit of trouble getting water for that one to make it very good. This one, maybe we can. Well, I mean, it can reach that. Sadly, this does not connect to there to make a Gaia world to send water out. So it does seem like this is the one we would try to do, and I'm not 100% sure how we would get there. We could lensify this world. I think I want to try it. And then increase chip production by 6 units. Sucks, but I think is probably doable. We're going to plug people into this, and then, yeah, we'll figure it out. Actually, converting this person to culture and sending them here produces a chip immediately. So that's something. Gosh, we have a lot of points of culture to send places already. It's a shame there's no way for me to get goods in here. Well, okay, so focus. Hey, SB. Hey, SB, maybe you could focus? Just like a little bit. I don't want to blow your mind here, but maybe just like a tiny bit. You know what? Let me see this. Okay. So what I'm trying to figure out here is, if there was a mineral world up here, then we could people this world, do some mineral stuff, and use this world as the water generator. As it is, I am inclined to use this world as the water generator for that one, because I don't see us doing food or people off of that right now. I mean, I want to pick up quantum computing. The thing I'd really like to do is get that world to prosperous before doing so. I don't think that's actually in the cards, probably. Right, because you need 2 roots, and you need the worlds around you to be doing better. Culture flipping this world does get us somewhere. And then we can do a people send. You know what? We're just not going to get it done in time no matter what. So let's go ahead and do that. So, okay, that's not that out of range. We can use the Slip project to fix that. So does it make more sense for this to be the people world? We can get biomass pretty easily. And then the question is just, how do I extract food? To which the answer is, I don't know that. If we wanted to send extra people in from here, we need to lensify, which is the next technology I intend to pick up. We want to get lensify to move down the next tier. So maybe that's just the plan. Just go ahead and set up here like I was thinking, and then still a matter of getting food. Yes, a matter which is somewhat unresolved. I think I'm going to commit to it, though. So... we're definitely doing that. I want to do... we're going to do this thing, too, of course. But... I want to make sure that I don't need the point of population from this to start anything else up first. Wow, heartbreaking. Okay, so, I mean, we can run Gaia World, and in fact, this world would really like us to supply it with water. So Gaia World here for biomass, there for food to that. But we can't run... Oh, I thought that was going to be a... Okay, I misunderstood the nature of the problem. I thought that was going to be an occlusion issue. This turns out to not be a problem at all. Well, rock. We're out here kind of, maybe a small amount doing it, maybe? Kind of. All right, feed that in there. Then, does it matter which world? One of these two is getting amplifier. I guess let's put the amplifier on this world, because I may want to do the culture conversion project on that world. Oh, right, I forgot the point of water goes in there. Do I want that to happen? The answer to that question has a lot to do with whether we're going to get a second point of people into this world. So hold on, let me rewind enough to undo that connection, and then let's get some information. That connection will work if we give this bonus slipway distance. But this connection still definitely will not. Yeah. So... we will probably never get a second point of population to this world. So I'm inclined to feed that way. How dare you? How dare you suggest that money is an object? I mean, you're right, it is, but that's why I don't want you to suggest that. That's precisely the problem. Okay, so we do get to take mass lensing now. And I guess at the beginning of next year, we can run the mass thing here, move population up that way, and then we still do need to feed population into this, but like, we'll get to it. We will eventually figure out how to get goods on this world, and we will get to it. What is my plan for that? I honestly have no idea. Also, at some point here, I do need to probably put forth the effort of founding another laboratory, and I don't really know what I'm gonna do about that either. In fact, friends, so this is a planet. This is almost certainly a planet. Were this to be a goods world, what is the distance on the slipway amplifier? It's 50%. Yeah, okay. Were this to be a forge world where we could do mineral to goods translation, it kind of gets us where we're going. At least it gets us in the direction of where we're going. I do, boy, there's a lot of hope coming off of that plan. It is in fact an ocean world, which is actually better for the purposes of leveling this world up. Less good for the purposes of this world doing stuff, but I mean, I think that means we just make that connection. Okay, we still have one world that's just kind of floating, doing nothing, and we will fix it. That'll happen. God, you always need water. You need so much water to run this, to run a galaxy full of living beings. Who would have thought? Okay, so import and export. 2 planets connected to you need to become successful. So actually, we're still in kind of grim shape here. Because even if we do turn this planet successful, it's not good enough. So but I can make this world successful with a culture move, which I guess we're going to have to do. This has to get successful, and so does this, which means food and a source of goods, which could probably, yes, it can totally be this world if we do the Slipway amplifier, and that might also help us legitimately get resources in there, because otherwise I don't know where the hell they're coming from. And I think at this point, we do in fact have to just pass. I hate pressing that button. I hate pressing the do nothing button. It feels awful every time. Okay, I figured that wasn't gonna work. So, okay, that's kind of what I was looking for. And we have found some worlds that are capable of producing food in a sort of a broad theoretical sense. Does this work? Yes, probably. So, slip amplifier here. Run minerals from there, goods to there. You know, and it kind of sort of works. So we don't really want to use, we do have a biomass to food triangle we could do right here, but we don't really want to, because we don't want to block access to the goods. The very, very long, weird access to the goods. Are we building toward a technology that's just like receive a large amount of passive money? We are not. I'm looking at our income and trying to figure out how we're gonna survive all of this. And the answer, as always, is a greater degree of interconnection. We have worlds already founded. Let's just like use them for things. So you could Gaia world. But the fact is, if we're not going to use these 2 worlds for food, which we cannot afford to if we want to run this big ridiculous triangle, then the only way to get food is off of one of these, this world also, I guess. So one of these 3 worlds via robots, which we do not have a source of. We could, though. The position of that is extremely awkward. Why has it got to be directly behind the mineral world? Yeah, I think this thing's getting lensed. So is that how we're doing it? People. Yeah, I think so. So people down here to make robots through a link to make food, sets that up. But then we're never going to be able to make this world successful without these extremely long slipways, which are going to require a hell of a lot more money than we currently have, even though we have already gotten to 3 prosperous worlds. So you need a world around you to become successful. Could be this one. It's a shame that everything I want to do costs all of the dollars. It costs every money. All right, well, let's do this part at least. Feeling pretty confident about that. So this is going to be 19, then 38, then 33. It is the most efficient thing to do, but it feels bad and wrong. But you need 2 worlds around you to flip over. One of them's got to be this nonsense. I guess the other thing I could do is I could lensify this world and run people from here to there. That makes this world successful, which flips that world. It's also $10 million. It would allow me to, in theory, with stream splitting, change some of my strategy here regarding connecting this world to the rest of the known universe, but I don't think it's actually helpful. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and press this button and then just pass the year. I hate the cost of this. Wait, really? Oh my god, it's an inch out of range. Well, okay. That does complicate things a small amount, does it not? So if we can't get minerals to this world, we're in some trouble. All right, well, there's a way to do it. A way that we basically must take, right? You kidding me? Everything's out of range of everything. So you've already got a planetary project. So the only way to do this is to build the amplifier on this world. And then we got to build another amplifier somewhere else, so that we can flip 2 worlds that are connected to this world. I was for a minute there thinking, maybe we don't build the amplifier here. I guess here's the thing I don't actually know. Does building the amplifier here even let us make that connection? Okay, yes, that one is doable. So that gets you to 2 of 3, and then we gotta lensify this thing and send another criminy. I mean, it's a nightmare, I tell you. Okay, so I think we have to just pass. Unfortunately, I think we're just too broke to move on. We don't have any play here. I guess one thing I can do is I can probe. Well, all right. Remember that thing I was saying about 30,000 points? I'm sensing that this is not our day. Okay. So everything I want to do is really long range. Look at how self-hosting all this AI is. It's crazy. Gosh, I wish there was a way to get this thing flipped without having to lensify that world. Because we could make this a water world and feed in population from here and water, and it would actually be, with the 2 points of upgrades we just secured, it would actually be fairly solid. I'm still gonna do it, to be clear. Because we have to. I'm realizing we have to get a 2nd point of water off of this world. But it's less fun this way. Yeah. Skip. We're making so much money. Okay, there we go. Unfortunately, after, it made sense to buy both of these upgrades, but there's still technocracy, which we're absolutely going to want to get because we have an 11-point lab already, potentially greater in the future. So yeah, okay. So there's some other stuff I need to do here. We gotta clean up some other shenanigans. Do I want to change anything about my plan? We could do. Nope. This is still the plan. Oh my god! Turn into a slippery link. Get out of my way. Oh, right. Yeah, sorry. I do want to run the slip amplifier here, right? I mean, maybe what I actually want to do is just get stream splitting. We're going to be 1 science point off of it next year, but it does make this whole thing much more efficient. And it's probably useful in other places as well. I don't see one like right now, but in theory, it's probably useful in other places as well. The thing is, at this point, the technology I want to be picking up is more like repurposing or maybe proper slipstream relays, although that's a little bit less important when you have Lensify. I don't know, maybe stream splitting is the right move. I would really like to leave this world. Oh, you suck. I would really like to leave this world as repurposable, so I don't really want a slip amplifier here. Yeah. All right, I think I am committing to stream splitting. Is there anything I can do to get the output of my science stuff up by a single point? There really isn't, right? I can found a people world and connect it to this thing. Well, we're planning on doing that anyway, right? Does this world get the amplifier? I can Lensify. Well, that's probably not. That's not actually closer. No, it totally is. Okay, so we can Lensify this world, connect this thing to here, and then down that way. And that would also actually let me feed population into this world, which is pretty valuable, actually. All right, let's do this in like a really silly way. There it is. There's my science. Do I want nanofabrication? No, I'll tell you what I want is to scrap this thing for parts. Why is that not an option? That gets me stream splitting, but unfortunately it also takes me to 24 worlds, and so brokenness. The degree of brokenness, it's way high. I am just not managing my money as well as... Hold on just a damn second. This asteroid is not closer to that world than it is to this one. I feel like I'm getting bamboozled here. They're razzle-dazzling me and I don't like it. All right. Well, I mean, there's not a lot for it, unfortunately. Do this, and then that. That makes me some extra income. And then this can happen at the beginning of next year, and that's good news. And so it's the beginning of next year. All right. Hooray for splitting the streams. This one wants 6 imports or exports. I don't know. I don't know what the best thing to connect this to is, because like running additional people off is pretty good. One thing I suppose I could do is... Oh no, never mind. I was gonna say we could just build another slip relay here. Have this run to that, and then that run to both of those. But no, I cannot. I don't know how to build slip relays. I only know how to convert planets into them. Well, we can do that thing. It's so hard to imagine wanting robots here. Like over here somewhere where they could potentially feed food into this world. Actually, does this swamp... No, obstruction. Well... we can lensify this world too, I suppose. So settle that. Run a line from here. Make this robots to food. And then build robot station there and send it over to this one. And that's like... fine. It's like aggressively fine. It's the most okay a plan has ever been. And I still need to increase production of chips by 2 points, and I don't think that I'm going to be able to do that over here. Remember when I was planning to run chips over to that world? What happened? What happened to that? When is that supposed to begin? What if I lensify this world? I run a connection from here to there, and then I run that connection to there. And wait, how does that... Then I would need to run another... Yeah, that's not how it works. That's overcounting. I guess that is actually an option, though. I could run robots to here to make the food. I really want to be able to connect the goods, though. That was like a whole part of the plan. So that means you gotta produce the food with robots that come from this side. Or you gotta produce that food in some other way entirely, which I suppose is, it's not like off the table. Okay. That's not nothing. I hate you, worlds. Stupid worlds. Well, that's very challenging. That's a challenging problem. So we'll never make this chip world produce more. We'll never make this chip world produce more. Well, sorry, this one totally can. If we do the project, this one ends up producing an additional 1. If we run the culture in. It will never become prosperous, and it is a real shame to use a point of culture in that way. We could still develop the dark relays. 16 science per turn's enough. It's not ideal. But obviously development of the dark relays is a lot more compelling once you already have splitting. And then we can level this world up in all kinds of different ways. So it's like, do we think that we can get chip out, water in from this world? Because if we can, then we should do that and do the culture upgrade. That'll complete our task. Chip out was easier before I made decisions. In my defense, I thought this was not going to be as terrible as it has turned out to be. Well, all right. I'm just going to add nanofab to the tech list, and maybe we just take nanofab. It's not totally ideal, but it's not like it's a bad planet type. And it does make it way easier for us to get goods going from certain worlds. You know, this is actually pretty good. And then we can feed water down here, and we can minerals, I don't know, that, I guess? Well, no, that doesn't quite work. So I'm thinking, like, if we run water to here, and then we run, just narrowly obstructed. Just trying to figure out how we want to get goods. We can do, we could mineralize this world and then do robots to goods. That works just fine. In fact, that works better. Except for the part where it doesn't get the second point of minerals off of this world, so we don't get success. But maybe that ends up being a dark relay project. In fact, definitely that ends up being a dark relay project. So we're low on money, but also the year's almost over. We're not getting these dark relays. That ain't happening. Yeah, I'm definitely feeling rusty. Feeling like I'm not doing my best work here. I'm getting distracted a lot. That's just sort of an element of the state of my brain at this moment. I think I'm just going to go ahead and commit to this. So now we don't even necessarily need to make anything happen on a chip world. I can just be like Remnant World, produce chip. Although maybe we want to not do this, at least for the moment, until I'm sure. And we instead just want to, because like a nanotech factory produces 2 chips by default. And we don't actually have use for those chips down here. I was going to say but I don't really have there's not a second part to this. That's just true. The thing I just said is true. I guess what I can do is this. Because this world needs a place to send stuff. Alright, get 2 more people producers to prosperous. Increase chips. I hate it. I hate increased chips. It's so bad for me personally. Producing a biomass lab it's probably a good idea for us to run another lab in terms of science. I don't know that it's a good idea for us to run another lab in terms of our total money output. We are kind of outputting too much money as it is. So it would need to be 2 people and a biomass, or a biomass, or 2 biomass and a people. It is doable. God, increased chip production by 8 is so silly. Like what a ridiculous thing to ask of me. So let's see. We have an unconverted people world here, which honestly is pretty close to conversion. This one will not be that difficult. And then there's this one where we got to get the food to it somehow, but once we do that, it's not that difficult. I'm just going to take these and we're going to figure it out. So let's do that thing I just said. Let's go for Lensify. Okay. Now, Just a little tiny bit short. I'm gonna lensify you as well. Show me something good. Okay. That is something good. Hold on a second. God damn it, I'm always broke. Do I just burn this for money? $36. I kind of want to learn about forebear culture, but we're like so desperate for cash. Okay. So my plan here was to do this. And then run the other point of population out like that. Okay. Do believe we're going to want these. I know that it's going to be very time expensive to set these up, given how little money we have to work with. But I also think it's going to be actually necessary. So the next technology I'm planning on taking is flexible fabrication. And we'll... Well, do I want to just do... So we could do flexible fab or we could do nano fab, and either one of those things lets me use this world to produce goods to send them to here. Also, we're not doing very well at all on this thing, but at the end of the game, we can just click on a bunch of worlds and feed them the thing. I guess that's maybe a compelling reason to pick up flexible fabrication instead of nano fabrication, because it allows us to install projects that are meaningful. But anyway, one thing I definitely want to do is feed out some of these like minerals out here to there. Produces a successful world that's actually very useful in terms of converting things. Chips over to here would be really nice. So you are currently connected to no successful worlds. And obviously that's a real issue. Is there a location that works for this? There is not. I was trying to figure out if we could get water from there to here by like putting a slipway there and then just connect that slipway to this world as well to distribute the chip. We can just make this a water world because this world will eventually produce one more. Oh no, we population capped. Shoot. Well, that's very difficult, actually. It's really, really not that great for me. Just trying to think about the best way to get enough worlds adjacent to that one to flip over. This world is connected to one successful already. I think I would rather have flexible fabrication than nano fabrication. And then we just run the goods straight through to here, because that'll connect this to another successful world, and it'll get this world pretty close to prosperous, actually. In fact, connecting the goods will create a person, which will satisfy the import-export here. And then we just got to get a neighbor to flip. I don't know exactly how we do that. We need like another robot in or something. We definitely want to do this. So we have a plan for fixing that, but it has to wait until next turn. Or next year, rather. And then... Gosh, I am just really like... real dearth of bodies here. So chip to this satisfies multiple adjacency requirements. It's pretty good. It's pretty good, actually. So the question is just whence, right? Chips from where? If I make it this world, then all we have to do is feed this water to get it successful, which helps with that world as well. So what is the best way to do that? It's obviously it's not a big deal to run the Dark Slipway. This is a question of, is there a place I can put it that really maximizes the value? So we're talking about a place where we could connect it to another chip world that needs exports. Or okay, what if can we set this up in such a way that we get the people? We need to get another unit of people to this world pretty badly, so that it can produce the point of water that is necessary for that. Or I guess I could just run it from here. Maybe that's exactly what we're doing. Okay, so we run like... If we run the slipway, or the slip relay from here, then running the water cuts off our ability to use that relay to run, or to use relays to run the chips, though. But maybe there's a more complicated way to do it. What if the solution was more complicated? If we run like a relay here and a relay there, we can feed people water into this one, chip people into that one. That doesn't actually get the chips where I'm going. Wait, why do you need to be connected? What am I doing? You don't need to be connected. So yeah, it's chips and water in here connect to there, which connects to there and there. It's expensive. It's like really expensive. But it is a solution. It is actually a solution. So I guess I'm going to do it, even though we cannot afford to do it. Yeah, because every part of that solution is unbelievably expensive. It does some really good work, though. All right. There's nothing else we can set up until next year. I hate to just press the go to next year button, but I kind of think that may be where we're at right now. God, my kingdom for $30 extra a year. Imagine if we had gene adjustment. Actually, just gonna press this button. All right, so. I guess I should start with the lower one. Because that at least moves a resource. Then we definitely want flexible fabrication. We sadly need Lensify here. And I think I want it to be a normal Lensify. And then we pass the year because of course we do. And this very critical connection. Can't quite afford it. Yeah, being perpetually out of money really sucks. And I cannot get anything done here. Just kind of scoping around for information here before I hit the next turn button again. So Obviously, universal harmony is very, very strong here. Technocracy also real good. So I would love to get those. Right now we're going to gain 46, so we're going to end up at like... Oh no, sorry. We have 3 years of income left. So yes, we will comfortably get both of those technologies. And we don't really need anything else. So that's like an okay score modifier. All right, great news. Should probably run that right now. And then, sorry, you should definitely get the hell over here. So now you are a mere single successful world away, and you need 1 import. I don't really want it to be this point of culture, but I think it's going to be that point of culture. Because otherwise it's got to be a person. And like, where am I gonna... I mean, if any of these are habitable worlds, we do already have food. Okay, it was worth looking. Yeah, I do believe I'm just gonna do this to get that to flip over. And then where are you at? You need... I mean, you're actually resolved already. Oh no, you're a goods world now, right? I'm so used to just like flexible fabrication and the goods will spawn and it will go somewhere and it will matter. But actually, in this case, it would produce a robot. A robot that I have no use for. Make that connection. All right, and then you need 1 more successful neighbor. You need mineral out. You need export and import. You need export and import. You know, if we connect this to here and just send the culture there, that's actually pretty helpful. Sadly, you are already trading with both of these planets. So actually, this one becoming successful is like a really big deal. It helps a lot. Oh, the person's dancing because yeah, we could send a people to here. And doing so is actually very valuable as well. Yeah, because that flips that world. Okay. Not doing so hot, in my opinion. This is not a winner. We're making moves that feel valuable on a small scale, but okay, get a Forge World to prosperous. Can I? Should be able to, right? The fact that I have no money ever definitely hurts. So you're pretty close. You're not, probably. Let's see. So I can send from, okay. I need to deliver a point of goods off of this world to that world, I think. That's pretty high value. And then once I've done that, this world's quite close to prosperous. Let's see. You're still a little bit further off than I would like. Yeah, everything needs 2 more exports, which is really awkward. I'm also obviously thinking about increased number of prosperous planets by 4 and trying to figure out if I think we can do it. So you... Let's see, we could send a culture down from here. Right now, this world and that world are not trading. So that will satisfy the neighbor requirements and the 5th point of that. And then I need to figure out a way to get person or water in or chip out. But that does feel pretty significant. Another connection up here would actually be really helpful for this world. So yeah, okay. All right, I'm gonna take them both. I don't. Wait, 2 years? All right. All right. Must figure it out. Very helpful. Okay. Wait. I could probably place that in the place where that's the relay that we use for all 3 of those. No, never mind. Right. Because this thing already has a bunch of garbage in its way. Goods from this world to that world is actually a capital P problem, because it doesn't connect to any of the things I want the way I want it to connect to them. It's just a very expensive solution. But we really need this world to get that love. Okay, what do you need? 2 more routes? So, I mean, it could just be send culture from both these worlds. That feels a little bit wasteful. But I did commit myself to 4 to 4 more prosperous worlds, so we may, we have to break some eggs here somewhere. Because if you're gonna make a world prosperous, it's going to require you to break eggs. Obviously. Trying to figure out if there's anything useful I can do with a 3rd leg off of this relay. This thing needs another import. It doesn't help to connect this in because none of the worlds we're pointing to are going to need minerals. Man, I wish I had the ability to make normal relays, so it would actually be super helpful. All right, let's just go ahead and build this then, I guess. There's no way to do this that is any more valuable than that. So now you just need a friendly neighbor to flip over. You only have 1 import. Oh, sorry, it's this, right, it's this one. That's the one that's doing it. Go to the final year. Take the thing that gives me 11% happiness, because that's a lot of score. All right, and then this world is prosperous if it receives a single import or export. So that's world 3. And then I have $27. We're not going to make it. Well, no, we have it right here. I just have to effectively waste a point of culture. All right. New tasks available. Nope. I mean, I'm sure nobody's surprised by that. So you need 2 imports or exports. Actually, this connection is very solid then. Yeah, that totally rules. And then I think we're probably pretty close to done, right? You would need 2 more things. Oh, I should buy a, what do you call it? I should just buy a project on a world, because, right, that whole scoring thing. We have been very tight on money this time. I didn't get our economy going until this last year. So I think that is probably going to end up being the most valuable thing we can do, right? That's 150 stars. Unless we have a play somewhere that flips a planet from successful to prosperous, I do believe that the only sensible thing to spend money on is that. What does repurposing cost? 25, right? Oh, I can't even test it there because that world is not developed enough. No, it's 30, so that is off the table. Okay, I'm just gonna press this button and then hit end year, I think. Do we have any loose culture sitting around? I think we allocated it all. Yeah, there may be a $5 connection somewhere, I suppose, but to be perfectly honest with you, I'm feeling a little cooked in my seat here, a little burned out, and I'm not gonna find it, is what I'm thinking. So I guess let's just go ahead and press that button, shall we? Not a resounding success. Actually, I did way better than I thought I was doing. I guess that's that. Again, it looks like this applies multiplicatively. I think that's probably a pretty significant part of why that score is, in fact, better than yesterday's score. I think. A score that I was, in fact, quite happy with. I don't know that we got much use out of social capital. I think I ended up not aggressively enough putting down slipstream boosters, amplifiers in the early game. But, you know, just because we had no money, like, it's not like there was a time where I could have done that without it severely impacting our builds. So, I don't know. I don't know if... Yeah, I don't know if there would have been a reasonable time to do that to even get social capital running. That said, I'm actually pretty happy with the fact that I felt like I was doing such a terrible job and the end result was 24,000 points. I think that speaks to, in part it speaks to me not always having the best grasp of exactly where we are, but it also speaks to me having a much higher standard for what doing well feels like. So that's cool. That's a good place to be. That's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, tomorrow, the quest continues, I guess. We're going to keep looking for a way to get ourselves 30,000 points without resorting to teleporter shenanigans. It's not a bug, but it feels like a bug. It feels like it's definitely outside of designed intent. All right, we'll see you then.